So let's get right into this real quick. Here we got it. Emergency message from the Social Security Administration, specific effective date 2/7/25, identification number EM24021, revision 3. This is the third time they've taken a look at this, revision 3, internal document related to essentially what will be happening with full medical CDR workload going into 2025. Let's go into it real quick. All right, purpose, part A. This emergency message. Oh, by the way, if you like these videos, if you like having the most up-to-date information as to what the Social Security Administration is doing, not just in the sense of the rules that they have, the rules that they're changing, but also the politics of it, which is very spicy right now, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, head over to Disability Resolution, Google, Disability Resolution Florida on Google, throw some stars up there. I love waking up and seeing those. Let's get to it. All right, so here's the deal. The emergency message provides disability determination services, DDS, and field offices, FOs, with updated continuing disability reviews, CDRs, and the guidance for the resumption, they're going to kick it up a notch, of CDR processing in fiscal year 2025. All right, background. In June of 2024, this is under Commissioner Martin O'Malley, and it was a smart move by him. Our full medical CDR target was lowered from 575,000 to 375,000, which allowed the agency resources to focus on processing initial disability claims and reconsideration cases. During the pause of CDR processing, components were given specific instructions to process only accepted CDR cases. And put another way, cases that were likely to render not disabled. Okay. So the cases, the people they went after in the end of 2024 were low birth weight claims, expedited reinstatement claims, CDR appeal claims, fraud or similar fault claims, OQR return claims, blindness with return to work claims, erroneous allowance correction claims, auxiliary EXR claims, ALS, and uneffectuated cessation claims. Those are the people, the groups that they went after, basically to review them in CDRs in the latter part of 2024. And they did this to ensure good customer service and program stewardship. That's going to be the phrase that you're going to be hearing a lot more in a lot of government agencies. We want to have good program stewardship. All other pending CDRs, except for paper CDRs and electronic CDRs with associated paper folders, were transferred from DDS to a federal staging queue called S0D or SOD to await the resumption of CDR processing in fiscal year 2025. So in other words, the SSA recognized that they had a massive backlog of people that needed to get processed. So they took a bunch of people that would normally work on CDRs and they put them onto the backlog to try and get them processed forward. Now, the backlog has grown. The backlog problem didn't go away. But when this was going on, when Commissioner Martin O'Malley was in, he did a really good job. He was smart. He was on top of it. He was moving resources around to, fight the problems. He was doing a good job. But that means in fiscal year 2025, they're opening the floodgates on going back and doing all those CDRs. So if you're sitting back being like, I don't think I'm going to get a CDR this year, I wouldn't put this year as your lucky year. I put this as the shit's going to hit the fan kind of year. I would put that more in that category. All right. Not a good thing. Not a good thing by any stretch. But this is what this emergency message is literally about. All right. Section C. Resume processing all CDR workloads. Beginning October 18th, 2024, FOs resume processing and transferring CDRs to DDSs. Beginning of fiscal year 2025, DDSs resumed receipt. So they took receipt of those ones that the FO was sending over. They resumed assignment and resumed processing of all CDR workloads. Part D. FO processing instructions effective October 18, 2024, in accordance with the local agreement to ensure DDS receives enough CDRs to meet the fiscal year 2025 target, FOs began transferring medical CDRs to the DDS. Prior to the state, FOs developed medical CDRs and built a pipeline of cases to be transferred to DDSs based on regional guidance. As FOs work to build this pipeline, keep in mind the following. In October of 2024, the systems transferred approximately 80,000 cases. Remember, these are people getting a review to see if they get to keep their benefits. From the staging queue back to the FOs to be refreshed. These were mostly medical CDRs, continuing disability reviews, that were unassigned at the DDSs prior to the pause. All right, so let me just summarize what's going on and make it kind of straightforward. They paused a bunch of reviews to kick people off of benefits during 2024 to have all those SSA employees work on the backlog. Now in 2025, they have a floodgate opening of CDRs that they're going to be doing to potentially kick people off of their benefits or allow them to keep them based off of, essentially whatever they find out when they do an 8-step sequential process. The 8-step sequential process is what they use to adjudicate claims as to whether or not somebody is still severely impaired under the rules and regulations to continue to receive benefits. All right, cool. These cases can be identified through Workload Action Center, WAC, and Electronic Disability Collect System, EDCS. In WAC, the location date on the DCF CDR list will be October 17th, 2024, or October 22nd, 2024. In the EDCS and CDRs were transferred to the FO as a pending medical CDR. Technicians received one of 2 EDCS action items: claim transferred to FO or claim rejected to FO. Regardless of the EDCS action received, the steps the FO should take remain the same. And a lot of this is basically how they're transferring claims, what the local field office's instructions are, when they transfer a claim, etc. Okay. Oh, and this is important. The CDR recontact SSA document, they put a Word document up right here. I'm going to read to you specifically what's on it so you understand exactly what they're going to be reaching out with. Okay. CDR recontact SSA 5002 template. So you know what questions are going to be coming up. All right. List the beneficiary's address and phone number in the corresponding fields on the form. Add the following to the body of the SSA 5002 and provide responses. Use the More button at the bottom of the form if more space is needed. These are the questions they're going to be asking you. Third-party contact information. They want to know somebody that they can ask questions about you, that knows you, that can give testimony for or against you. They want their name, their phone, and address. Okay. Next one, they're going to ask you, have there been any changes in their medical conditions since the date the SSA received the SSA 454? If yes, list the new conditions. So when they get a status update after they get the 454 back, they're going to ask you any new conditions, any new medical diagnostic impressions. Number 3, they're going to ask you, are there additional medical sources / treatments since the SSA 454 was received? If yes, provide facility, doctor contact information of the date of service. In other words, when you filled out the SSA 454, they want to get the most recent medical documentation. So any places you've been for, specialist, PCP, hospital, clinic, going forward, they want to know the information so they can 827 it by buying it with the HIPAA. Next question. Was the SSA 827, the HIPAA, signed and dated no more than 9 months prior to the date of the refresh review? If no, develop for a new SSA 827 prior to transferring to DDS, because they know it's going to take months for DDS to get to it. 827's actual lifespan is 12 months. So if they're getting close to that 9-month period, they want to get a new 827 done before they hop it over to DDS. Next question. Has there been any work activity since the SSA 454 was completed? If yes, develop work prior to transferring to DDS. You work in any little jobs? You work in any career jobs? Anything like that? They were going to want to know about education too. Okay, did you just complete a certificate, security clearance, certificate, or a diploma, etc. Next question. Has the beneficiary begun participating in support services such as vocational rehabilitation? If yes, provide contact information for the facility or primary contact and the dates of participation. If you are going through vocational rehabilitation, if they are saying that you could potentially do these jobs or those jobs or these jobs or those jobs, then guess what? You're on the fast track to losing your benefits. Vocational rehabilitation, if it's, you're going through it and they're saying, yeah, well, you might be able to do this job. Yeah, you might be able to do that job. You are setting yourself up for removal of benefits, okay? Because the whole program is based off of essentially compassion allowance listings, vocational allowances, and grid outs, okay? If you can do a job, they're going to expect you to go do the job. Next question. Has the beneficiary received any new education and training? If yes, provide contact information and dates of attendance. Education, training, okay? going to school, getting a certificate, getting an allowance, getting a security clearance, getting a diploma, education, getting a training certificate on the forklift, getting a training certificate on how to handle blah, 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 whatever. If you get new stuff like that, it means you are pump primed for what direct skilled or semi-skilled entry into the workforce. And they use that to deny people. Stacy, thank you for the 99-cent donation. Super appreciate that. That's awesome. Next one. So is there an appointed representative? If yes, 1696 is in the file and all appropriate inputs have been made. I believe that there will be a marketplace for appointed representatives, attorneys, whatever, to represent people through these CDRs in the future. I think they'll have to create something like that because people are going to be going through so many of these that there's going to be a marketplace for attorneys to have to work with the client to try and fix the claim. What I get a lot of, right? So you know how I represent people for disability benefits. I have one of the most highly rated Social Security disability law firms in America. But with all that shenanigans of owning a law firm, representing a lot of claimants for disability benefits, all that put aside, I do the free thing, which we're doing after this video where I answer questions for free. But for this stuff, where I've been getting a lot of calls, I do those private hours. I don't represent you before the SSA. I just hear what you're saying, and then I give you advice as to, from what I've read, what you should consider to do and a timeline of actions to potentially do. Those have been very popular. That's where basically every 2 weeks are pretty much at this point completely locked out, where there's somebody who's, during my lunch hours that I make available, buying up one of those hours to do a private session. That's where a lot of these CDR reviews pop up. All right. What should you learn from this? If you aren't going to the doctor right now, if you aren't buying the medication you've been prescribed, if you aren't having crisis medical treatment like you should be, if you're one of those people sitting back saying, well, this impairment should be enough. And I feel bad for those people because, they just, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong, right? If your one impairment is so severe, blah, 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 I get it. But if you're one of those who hasn't really, let's call it benefit stewardship, where you've really taking care of your benefits, like done a good job upkeeping them, if you're one of those individuals, now is the time to fix the problems. Because if you don't fix the problems, these problems that are arising, and you go through a CDR, then you have bad timing. That means, you're already on the late side of trying to fix these issues. All right, now you know what this emergency message is. Now you know that they're going to be doing a massive amount of CDRs that they weren't doing in 2024. Now, what might happen is the new commissioner, if brought in and confirmed, which I assume will be because, House, Senate, White House is all Republican. If Frank Bisignano gets in, he may do what Commissioner Martin O'Malley did, which is try to move human resources, people working at the SSA, to work on different aspects of this whole thing. But one thing is clear. The SSA they need more employees. If you know people that are looking for a job, please send them to the SSA. It's not great pay, but it is a federal job. It comes with benefits. Please send them to the SSA. They need workers extremely badly. So bottom line is, anybody send them over there. They are hiring. They are really, really hiring right now. So, all right. With that said, yes, Jarhead. I have to do a video on reviews for veterans too. Veterans have a lot of protections though that the civilian SSDI, SSI benefits don't have. But I'll do another video on that. With that said, I will catch you all at the next video where I go live to answer questions for free. You get to ask me whatever question you want. Please remember we have little rules and things that we do in that video. Use a fake name, get right to your legal question, blah, blah, blah. If you like this channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and head over to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida. Throw some stars up on Google because it really inspires me in the morning to wake up and keep working, which I got to be honest with you. I don't know if you can tell. I got a lot of bright lights on me, but my face is, I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm definitely beat because, I have the 3 jobs. I work at the firm, right, where I represent people before judges for disability benefits. And then I have the YouTube channel. And then I have the restoring that rental home, which is like my future. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't have a very strong, firm belief that our politicians give a bleep about the future of Social Security. They do a great job standing in and outside government buildings going, rah, rah, rah. They do a good job at that, but they don't do a good job at actually fixing it and having a set of parameters that they're going to do. The closest we got to that was Martin O'Malley. I'm a big fan of all the stuff he was doing inside the SSA. I know some people don't like him as a governor and blah, 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 but I got to be honest. As commissioner of the SSA, I'd throw his ass right back in that chair. He didn't get the DNC. I'm going to put him right back in that SSA and say, you get to work. So I really liked him. I think he did a good job. Frankly, he's a more middle politician. The Democrats have really left politicians, and the Republicans have a lot of middle rights, and then your Republican in name only are actually your far right people. But he's more of a middle, so I appreciate that with him. But he's a real solutions kind of guy. You don't see that a lot. You don't see manager CEO types where they know how to manage and CEO. That's not common. You get a lot of CEOs who have a disconnect, a lot of managers who don't get what's required to be a CEO. There's a he's got it. He's got that class to him. He's got that ability. So anyways, I will catch you at the next video. Please remember, I go live on Mondays and Thursdays. And then also, if you want a private session, mini contract is below. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. God is love. Thank you for the nice, you're a great guy. I really appreciate that. I will catch you at the next video in about, I would say, 5 minutes. Thank you so much. I'll catch you soon. We'll go from there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.